Well, there is a push to revive Catholic education and the Catholic faith in Ireland, and one school with ties to the United States is leading that charge. A recent story in Detroit Catholic details the work being done at Mater Dei Academy in the city of Cork, Ireland. It was founded in 2020 by a pair of MIT graduates. The school is believed the first of its kind in Ireland. It operates independently of state funding and charges no fees to Irish residents. And we go now to Padraig Cantillan Murphy, co-founder of Mater Dei. So good to be with you. First off, tell us, about the state of the Catholic Church and Catholic education in Ireland and what you found after moving back there in 2010.
Thanks so much for having me, Tracy. So Ireland has undergone a period of unprecedented societal and constitutional change over the past decade in particular. That probably culminated in most people's minds in the referendum of 2018, where the constitutional right to life of the unborn, which had been present in the Irish Constitution for many years, was removed by a majority of 2/3 of the electorate. And that points, I suppose, to a society which is still culturally very much rooted in the Catholic faith and heritage, but has rejected in reality many of the norms that go with what one would have thought Catholic education would instill. And that was a point that was recognized, in fact, immediately following the 2018 referendum. And this didn't come as a surprise to many of us. As you mentioned, when we moved back in 2010, we found we were very disappointed as a couple with young children. We wanted, like every family, the best for our children. We wanted them to be formed in the faith. And what we found instead was a school system which had, unfortunately, in an academic sense, in many instances, slipped into mediocrity. And there are many examples of that. But more concerning for us as Catholic parents was the lack of formation of the children in the faith. And that was a realization that was difficult for me to come to as an Irish Catholic, to say, you know what, these schools that we thought were Catholic, we thought were excellent, I'm not sure they are anymore, unfortunately. And that's what prompted the beginnings of Mater Dei Academy.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about it. I know you say it's the first of its kind in Ireland. Explain that to us.
Yes, so Ireland is very unusual in a European context. Virtually all of the schools in Ireland are public funded schools. So while their patronage, roughly half of the schools at second level or middle high school level are Catholic in their historical ethos, in reality, the delivery of education is controlled by the government. The program of assessment, the examination systems are controlled by the government. The hiring of teachers is controlled by the government. So you can immediately understand that there is the potential for conflict between the constitutional and legislative positions that the government is taking and the positions which Catholics following the doctrine of the Church would be asked to adhere to. And that's exactly where parents like us found ourselves, in a very difficult situation. There were no alternatives because there were no Catholic schools that operated without state funding. And that is what prompted us to look primarily towards the US to see models that we could actually look towards and while not wanting to replicate in their entirety, we wanted to learn from what was happening here. We also looked very closely at some of the schools in France that have chosen an independent path, and that's what led to the creation of Mater Dei Academy in 2010.
We're almost out of time. We have about a minute left or so, but I'm curious, what's been the reaction to your school in Ireland? I mean, what have you been hearing?
So we've been blessed by great support from our local bishop. The Dominican community in Cork has been very supportive, and we've trebled in size in 3 years. We've run out of space in the building we were in. We've been able to find a new building, and there have been lots of blessings, some persecution as well, but we're growing. There are 2 more schools that have been founded like ours since we began. So there is definitely shoots of hope that perhaps weren't there 5 years ago. We do depend on support from people outside of our parent base, and that's perhaps something that viewers would like to know about.
So, Padraig, tell us more about that and where people can get more information.
So first of all, please remember us in your prayer intentions. The church is dedicated to Our Lady of Knock. We commend it to her protection. We're always looking for young teachers who might like to come to Ireland and to teach in our school. And we've partnered with the Saints and Scholars Foundation here in the US, which is a 501c3 organization based here in the US, which support us in being able to bring teachers from the US, particularly with a classical background, to help us get, hopefully, the first of many of these kind of schools off the ground in Ireland.
Well, it sounds like it would be an incredible experience to anyone, and also incredible for the students. Thank you for what you're doing, Padraig, and sharing all this with us, and we'll be praying for you and your academy.
Thank you, Tracy.